had a request from someone asking if I could share my CURA 3.6 settings, which is something I've been meaning to do, but I've just been under the pump for the last 2 weeks trying to get hours of video edited, as well as working on some paying work. So I thought I'll just take 5 minutes to quickly make this video, because I know it will help a lot of people who are trying to get some nice results out of CURA 3.6 for the Cocoon Create Touch printer or the Wenhao Duplicator i3 Plus printer. I believe they're both the same printer. But anyway, I was just going to run through my settings when I see that CURA 4.0 is now available. And CURA 4.0 provides a better and more reliable printing experience, apparently. When you first load CURA 3.6, if your CURA looks a little different to mine, you may need to add these options on the right here by going to the settings wheel and ticking on the features that you want to be able to use in your day-to-day slicing. So it's just a case of clicking this little settings wheel here and ticking on the features that you want, and they'll be added into this section here. Okay, I'll open this up so you can see my printer settings, or how I've got CURA 3.6 configured. And you can see I've got my X and Y width and depth, my height 180 millimeters. The build plate I've set to rectangular. Heated bed, G-code flavor is Marlin. Print head settings are here, and heights. And number of extruders is 1. And I've also copied and pasted the start G-code and end G-code from the CURA 1604 default settings that came with the printer. So I know that they're going to be right. Those G-codes are right there. And if we look, while I'm here, we'll have a look at my settings, and I've just created a profile for PLA. Layer height, I like to print at 0.16. I find 0.16 is a nice balance between quality and speed. 0.2 is obviously going to be faster, and 0.1 is going to have a little bit more detail, but I can't really see a huge difference between 0.1 and 0.16, but I get the benefit of being a little bit closer to 0.2 in speed. My initial layer height I've set to 0.2. My line width is 0.4, which is my nozzle. Initial layer line width is 100%. Wall line count is 3. Top and bottom thickness I have set to 1.2 millimeters. Top and bottom pattern I have set to lines. Infill density, I just adjust this as I need it. Often it'll be 15-20%. The infill pattern I just leave set to grid. Gradual infill steps I've 0 is my default. Infill before walls, I don't have that ticked on. I like to do my walls first and then do the infill. I find to get a nicer finish and a nicer surface doing that. Print temperature 210 is my default for PLA. My default build plate temperature is 50 degrees, and what I generally do is I wait till the model's printed about 10 millimeters or a centimeter in height, and then I turn the build plate, I override the settings on the touchscreen on the printer and adjust my temperature down to 38 degrees Celsius for the build plate once it's reached about 10 millimeters in height off the build plate. I find that's ample to keep it well and truly secured to the build plate while it's printing. The flow, I've got 100%. Enable retraction is ticked on. Retraction distance is 4 millimeters. If you're running the Cocoon Create Model Maker printer, which as a Bowden style, I run that at 7 millimeters for the retraction distance on that particular printer. Retraction speed 40 millimeters per second. Print speed I run at 60 millimeters per second. Infill 60. Wall speed is 30, outer wall 30, inner wall 40 millimeters per second. Top bottom speed is 30 millimeters per second. Travel speed is 100 millimeters per second. Cooling, enable print cooling is on. Fan speed's on at 100%. Regular fan speed, and I've got my initial fan speed set at 0, and once the print gets to about 6 millimeters high, then it'll gradually adjust from 0 to 100% at 6 millimeters high of print. Regular fan speed at layer 38. Layer 38. So if it's printing 1.16 millimeters per, let me do a calculation there, 0.16 times 38, yeah, 6 millimeters. Okay, so that's right. That's okay. So that works out. So that's at 6 millimeters or around layer 38, then it's going to be at 100%. Supports, I rarely use supports because I try and design my models where they don't need support, but that's obviously where you tick that on. By default, I have it turned off. I don't use brims, or I don't use rafts either. On the Cocoon Create Touch printer, I find that if I set my gap when I'm bed leveling to 0.1 millimeter, which is the recommended default in the manual, with the heated bed and using these settings, I just don't need to use a brim or a raft. I get really good adhesion. I just give the build plate a wipe down with isopropyl alcohol and start printing. And I do run a skirt, just a one-line skirt, just to get the filament flowing. And the skirt distance, I have it set to 3 millimeters. Mesh fixes. So this is really depends on the quality of the mesh that you're bringing into the slicer. If there's non-manifold geometry and holes in it, well, often this can fix it to a certain degree. So I just keep my default set to this, where this is not ticked on. The union overlapping volumes is not ticked on. Remove all holes is turned off. Extensive stitching is turned off. Keep disconnected faces I have ticked on. Merged meshes overlap is set to 0.15 millimeters. And remove mesh intersection I have turned off. And remove empty first layers I have turned off. I can have mine set this way because when I'm creating my models, I'm very careful about watching out for non-manifold geometry, and I try to make my models 100% clean, so I don't have to worry about trying to fix it in CURA. But if you're getting models from elsewhere and you're finding that you're having issues, then I'd definitely try experimenting with these mesh fixes settings to try and overcome any flaws that may be in the actual model you've downloaded, the STL file you've downloaded. Special modes, print sequence all at once. So I just print my my objects all at once, but if you've got 10 different little models that you're trying to print, as long as you have clearance for your print head, then you can just print them one at a time. Tree support, I've tried tree support. I think I did see a decrease in print time by having tree support, so yeah, if I would definitely use it again if I had another model which required tree support. But yeah, tree support, normal support, I don't really have a preference at this stage for supports. So I think that's covered my CURA 3.6 settings and how I have my printer set up, which is just under settings, printer, manage printers, and just go to the printer. I have my two printers profile set in here, Cocoon Create Touch, and machine settings, and then you have access to those settings for that printer. Okay, download Ultimaker CURA 4.0 today and enjoy a brand new user interface designed to simplify 3D print preparation. Whether you're a beginner or an expert, this release adds integration with Ultimaker Cloud offering you advanced cloud-based tools to support your 3D printing workflow. Okay, so it looks like it's a complete rework of CURA. Alright, let's download CURA 4.0 and let's run CURA 4, see what happens. Okay, let's look at the changelog. Updated user interface, redesigned add printer dialog, updated custom mode panel, monitor tab, remote printing, user ratings for plugins, integrated backups, plugin versioning, lazy tree support calculation, and the list goes on. Ooh, new third-party definitions. When, how, updated printer profiles to use new travel speed macro. Okay, Cocoon Create Model Maker. So the Cocoon Create Model Maker is now a default profile in CURA 4.0, and when how i3 Plus Mark II should be a default profile. So we'll have a look at that and see how that compares to the way I've got mine set up. So this is our new interface. Prepare, preview, monitor. Select a network connected printer to monitor. Okay, prepare. Let's grab a file. So let's grab the fan shroud for the Cocoon Create Touch. Okay, so Pro PLA, Cocoon Create Touch. So it's detected it's taken the settings from 3.6, but it looks. Yep, so they're there. Okay, manage printer. Let's see if I can add the when, how, other. Okay, when, how, duplicator i3 Plus. Let's add that as a printer. Is there no Mark II? Doesn't look like it. Okay, we'll add that printer. So there's the when, how, and there's our Cocoon Create Touch. So the machine settings are here. Print head settings, that doesn't look right. I'm worried about these settings here. Yeah, I think this concerns me. Like if you're trying to do print one at a time, because if you have a look at the settings I have, why can't I select my? Where have my settings gone? Okay, I'm going to remove that one. Looks a bit buggy. I'll have a look if I can get back to I can't there we go. Why did that Cocoon Create Touch become unactivated or deactivated? Yeah, so I think these dimensions are better for your print head than the ones that were sitting that in that profile. So I'd be careful using that when, how profile if you're planning to print one at a time. All right, so let's have a look at how this works. So this has picked up all my settings from CURA 3.6, and if I hit slice, Okay, it gives us our time, how much filament's going to be used, how many meters and grams, which is good. And let's see, if I hit preview, it's going to give me my preview of how it's going to print. Okay, so we've got the animation down here and the layers here. This is the fan shroud for the Cocoon Create Touch that I've designed, which is a significant improvement over the default fan shroud that comes with the printer, and I'll make a video on that, and that will also be available to download from my website soon. So you'll see it here. So I'm currently in the process of making these models all available, and if you go to printverygood.com to store, you'll see where these are, and this will be a mix of free models and purchased models. So I'm trying to get to this. It's I've got hours and hours of video I'm trying to edit and wade through at the moment, but as soon as I can get a minute, I'm just working on the website and getting that up to speed. When you click, these two are now, I've got these two working, so when you click on an item, you'll be presented with a page dedicated to that item and just instructions and you know, if the support's needed, and how the orientation was designed to be printed. So it's designed to be printed in this case in this fashion, and support will be needed just for under the lid. And I'll have any related video will be on the same page, so you can see the video that was talking about this particular item. And in this case, it's a free download, so you just be able to click and download the file direct from my web page. And so I've got this file ready to go, and I've just done 2 files to test it to make sure it's all working properly, which it is. And this part here is also ready to go, and it's the same deal. It's a free download, the recommended print orientation and support, whether it's needed or not, and a little bit about why I made this file and the related video. So every item will have a page like this, and if it's a purchase item, it might be $1 or $2, then you'll be taken to a page where you can look at the file, see all the information about the file, and if you decide to purchase, well, then you'll be directed to a purchase page. Add to cart and then to purchase page. So this is coming. It's very difficult being a one-man band where you've got to shoot the video, edit the video, make the files, create the web page, do all the uploads and create the STL files and test them all to make sure they're working. So I'm still trying to work out the best way of doing all this. So things might change a little bit, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. So back to this. So I think yeah, I like the way this is laid out, and I like that it's really simple. So once you have your default settings in and you're happy with the way they're working, it's just to come in, prepare, preview, and then monitor if your printer's on the network. I do have a Raspberry Pi which is connected to my printer, so I might have to make sure I get that set up properly so I can work with CURA 4.0. Yeah, the only thing is, if I want to go into a little bit deeper, the settings, there's a little pencil here. What's here? Print settings. Oh, okay, so I can expand those print settings and they're all there. So that's nice. Yeah, I like that. And then I can create a new profile, upload it here, and just select it probably from here. Can I do that from here? So I'll have to do it from here. Okay. You have customized some profile settings. Would you like to keep? I'll have to look into what that actually is going to do before I commit to that. Okay, so I think, yeah, I think there's no reason why you shouldn't be using CURA 4.0. If you have CURA 3.6 set up, it'll just grab the settings from CURA 3.6. Now, when I installed, I didn't let it uninstall 3.6 first. I just did a parallel install, if you like, so you can do that. You can keep 3.6 and then install 4 alongside it. And I'd probably recommend doing that in case we come across some bugs from 4.0 that haven't been discovered yet. All right, well, I think that about wraps up this video. So I've run you through my CURA 3.6 settings, my CURA printer management settings, and my profile there. And we've had a quick look at CURA 4.0, and I think I like it. I think I like what they're doing here. It's just a simple prepare, slice your object, preview it, and then print it. So yeah, looks good. All right, well, that's it for this one. Thanks very much for watching, and you'll probably expect to see a few videos coming up pretty quickly in the next few days. I'll have a few videos rolling off the production line, and some of the larger videos I'm just going to break up into parts because it's just taking too long to try and get it all into one video. So thanks again, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.